Hi friends, I am Indradit Rai. You are watching my channel Indradit Rai Live in Photo Life. Here I will share with you my experience of photography, and the discussion will be quite interesting. So please don't go away. Please listen to the video till end. And if you are new to my channel and if you are not subscribed my channel yet, so please subscribe my channel and kindly press the bell icon so that you receive the notification of my videos at earliest. Therefore, without wasting time, let's get started. Point number 1, what is to be looked at before capturing any image? Before capturing any image, please look at where the sun is located in the sky. Please place yourself in such a position so that the sun locates backside where you are standing, or it is top of your head position. Then only what will happen? Plenty of lights will fall on the object that you are going to capture. Please do not capture any image in against light condition. In against light condition, darks and shade will destroy your photo quality. Let us have a look at a few examples where you will find that the image qualities are quite good, as because plenty of light has fallen on these objects. In case of daylight photography, let us discuss the use of lens hood. Here I am using Canon Make EOS 550D model, and this is the lens hood. Lens hood actually prevents entering of light through sides. So please use this lens hood to improve your image quality. Next point of discussion is how to hold the camera to avoid shakes at the time of capturing any image. You may find the question is quite silly, how to hold a camera, how to avoid shakes at the time of capturing any image, but this is extremely important as far as photography is concerned, as because there are lot many images we have to destroy because of vibrations caused due to shaking of our hands. So the steps are like this: you have to place your both elbow with your body tightly. Then next step is that you have to hold the camera by your both hands tightly. Point number 3 is that you have to place your eye in the viewfinder and it has to be tightly held also, means this. Next point, your right hand finger will be free to press this shutter release button. Point number 5 is that whenever you will click, you should not breathe. You have to stop breathing so as to avoid shakes at the time of capturing any image. Then you have to finally click. If you practice these steps one by one, what will happen? Your subconscious mind will carry out all sort of steps and your image will be absolutely free of any kind of shakes. So please practice these steps one by one. Let's discuss the photography of sunrise and sunsets. Correct exposure and nice compositions are the two keys. Here I will discuss the composition part at first. As far as composition is concerned, please capture multiple images, as because intensity of light frequently changes, and please keep one good subject in between your camera and the sun, then only capture. Without nice image, please don't capture only sunrise or sunset. And, now the next question comes: to what extent you will make your image color blackish, or you will make it fully dark. If some underlying beauty is there as far as the subject is concerned, please make it blackish instead of make it fully dark. Now coming to the discussion of exposure part. As far as exposure is concerned, please maintain ISO at 100. Please do not maintain ISO at auto mode. What will happen? Unnecessary excess lights will enter if you keep the ISO at auto mode. If you increase the ISO value, what will happen? It will entertain more noise in your images. So Please maintain ISO at 100. As far as aperture is concerned, please keep the aperture either 8 or 11 or 16. And as far as shutter speeds are concerned, please maintain shutter speed either 1 by 60 or 1 by 125 or 1 by 250. And there is no hard and fast rule is that you can alter these values and you can take plenty of images. So let us have a look at a few examples of sunrise and sunset photographs. Let us discuss the photography of multiple colors. If you find there are multiple colors are there, and in some of the cases these colors are complementary to each other, definitely capture those images. These images are of extreme high quality. So let us have a look at a few examples of this category. Now let us discuss the photography of sculptures. Sculptures are actually human creations. If you find there are some notes written or some histories are written along with sculptures, definitely capture those images and always try to capture the minor details of it. So let us have a look at a few examples of this category. Now let us discuss where the main subject is to be placed in the viewfinder. There are a few believers who believe that the main subject is to be placed at 4 intersecting points of 2 equally distant horizontal and vertical lines. This makes sense for them. But there are other believers who believe that the main subject is to be placed at the center. Then only it makes sense for them. But there are no hard and fast rule is there. You can go for this rule of third as well as the center place subject composition. And as far as myself is concerned, I am a believer of center place subject composition. I always maintain symmetry in my photograph. I always keep same distance at right as well as in left side. Same distance I try to keep at top as well as from bottom. So let us have a look at a few examples of these center place subject compositions. Now let us talk about the composition which are made with some nice stories. If some nice stories are there, it will normally touch the heart of the viewer. Viewer should be able to know why the photographer has captured that image. So these photographs are of extreme high quality. So let us have a look at a few examples of this type. Compositions made with arch, tree leaf, roof, etc. create additional importance to the viewer. Please have a look at a few examples of this category. Compositions made with single and curved lines cause additional importance to the viewer. Try to put these lines in your images. Please do not put multiple subjects in the images, as because multiple subjects confuse the viewer and as well as it create lot of eye strain. So please avoid it. Now let us discuss how the images of tall buildings, tall churches, tall temples, etc. can be captured in a better fashion. Whenever we are capturing any kind of image of tall buildings, there are normally tiltation of the buildings take place. There are no other way to correct the tiltation through post correction in Photoshop. Whenever we are capturing any kind of image of tall building, please keep in mind that we have to keep the building portion as well as the land portion as well as some sky portion. Then only the 3D concept of object placement written in the images. Please have a look at a few examples of this category. Now let us discuss motion photography. A few guys are there, by applying high shutter speed they restrict the motion, they don't want to show the motion, but if some motion is there, try to show the motion in your images. Let us have a look at a few examples of this type where you will find that the haziness part of the images show the motion. Compositions made with light and shade create cool impression to the viewer. Please have a look at a few examples where you will find that the composition has been made with light and shade. Here the challenges are how to find out those compositions, how to create those compositions, and how to capture those images with correct exposure. So let us have a look at a few examples of this category. Panoramic view means images that are having elongated fields of view. Images look good if captured from certain heights or certain elevated levels. Please have a look at a few examples of this category. Exposure means three things. One is ISO, second thing is aperture, third one is shutter speed. This part of discussion is basically helpful for those guys who have recently purchased DSLR camera and they don't have much more knowledge of manual modes of photography. As far as ISO is concerned, please keep ISO at 100 in a normal daylight condition. This part of discussion is basically in normal daylight condition when plenty of lights are available. So please keep ISO at 100. Please don't increase ISO value. If you increase the ISO value, it will entertain much more noise in your images. As far as shutter speed is concerned, please keep shutter speed either at 1/60 level or 1/125 level. If lights are less, please keep the shutter speed at 1/60 level. If lights are more, please keep the shutter speed at 1/125 level. And as far as aperture is concerned, at 8 am in the morning, please keep aperture at 8. At 11 am or 12 pm, please keep aperture at either 11 or 16. At 2 pm, please keep the aperture at 16. At 5 pm, please keep the aperture at 5.6. So this is a general guideline, a thumb rule of capturing the images in a normal daylight condition. So take plenty of pictures. Next important point is that think many times before capturing one image. Think how better way you can compose, how best stories you can tell to the viewer. Please do not capture any image just after seeing it. There is a good way of learning photography is that each and every day in newspapers and in magazines there are a lot of photographs are printed. So make a habit of watching those photographs on daily basis and you will find that the professionals are capturing images. They are always putting nice stories, nice motions, nice acts, etc. in their images. They are not capturing the only background. So start learning from those photographs. That is all about today's discussion of photography. We will definitely meet with some other topic. Kindly subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you receive the notification of my videos at earliest. Kindly share and comment as well. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. Bye.